Spotlight Cash review time. Let's go ahead and dive on into what December and January have in store to help you map out when to best use your Spotlight keys in the coming months. Our first cache in December, running from the 3rd through the 10th, contains Luna Snow as a new Series 5 card, X-23 as a soon-to-be downgraded to Series 4 card, and Lady Deathstrike as a Series 4 card. This Spotlight Cache week gets a dead center rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars from me. Both the returning cards see some amount of play, with X-23 being a mainstay inside the Destroy deck, but they're also both Series 4, and they've had a good bit of reruns at this point, so I don't think there's a ton of appeal in those for most people. Luna Snow does the bulk of the lifting in this week's rating, being a new novel way to accelerate extra energy on the 3rd turn of the game, while also being a somewhat niche clog card. I expect she'll probably be fairly unique in the decks that want her, making her difficult to replace. So if you're someone that enjoys having extra energy ahead of curve, Luna Snow is probably going to be a solid pickup. Running from December 10th through the 17th, we have Penny Parker as a new Series 5 card, Sasquatch as a returning Series 4 card, and Gladiator as a returning Series 4 card. This Spotlight Cache week is going to get a fairly middling 2 out of 5 star rating from me. While Penny Parker is definitely a neat and novel design, I would wager she's probably going to be one of the weaker cards to release during the Marvel Rivals season in December. Sasquatch doesn't really have any decks in which I would consider her optimal, and Gladiator is a fairly playable 3 energy card that's notably good with Fenris Wolf, so if you're a Fenris Wolf enjoyer, could be worth picking up for that. But both these cards are also Series 4 yet again, which means they have a more minimal collector's token cost associated with picking them up. So if you're not interested in Penny Parker specifically, this week's probably an easy skip. Running from December 17th through the 24th, we have Doom 2099 as a new Series 5 card, Dakin as a returning Series 4 card, and Meek as a returning Series 4 card. Overall, this Spotlight Cache week gets another pretty poor rating of 2 out of 5 stars from me. While Doom 2099 seems like an awesome novel card to build around that I think could be quite powerful since it has synergy with the existing Doctor Doom that we have confirmed, the returning cards this week leave a lot to be desired. They're not only both Series 4 cards, meaning they're cheaper to get with collector tokens, but I don't think there's a single deck in Marvel Snap right now that's competitive and optimally wants to play either of these cards. Meek's only deck, the Mobius Dracula discard deck, does not have room for him. I don't think he's optimal in the 12 cards in that build. And Dakin, while he's a pretty novel build around that I personally enjoy playing, I would be lying to you if I told you he was a powerful card that's going to add meaningful value to your collection in terms of winning games. Running from December 24th through the 31st, we have Bruce Banner as a new Series 5 card, Ravonna Renslayer as a returning Series 4 card, and High Evolutionary as a perpetually big bad Series 5 card. The Spotlight Cache week gets one of the stronger ratings this month from me of 4 out of 5 stars. I actually really like in general when they design the Spotlight Cache weeks like this, i.e. cards that specifically work well together. I would wager that Bruce Banner very likely wants to be paired with High Evolutionary most of the time, so if you're missing High Evo, this cache can basically be a deck for you. In the event that there is a non-high evo Bruce Banner deck, I bet Ravonna Renslayer will go cleanly inside of that as well. I also think Ravonna is a stellar card to add to anyone's collection. While she's only Series 4, she's very mechanically unique in what she does, and any deck that wants to play her does not have a clean replacement for her if she's missing in your collection. Our final December cache runs from the 31st through January 7th. It contains Rocket Raccoon and Groot as a new Series 5 card, Selene as a returning Series 4 card, and Blob as a returning Series 5 card. I'm going to give the Spotlight Cache 3 out of 5 stars. Rocket and Groot read as a pretty reasonable card. Being able to move just once with the utility that this card can have seems like a pretty potent effect on a 3 energy card. Blob sees play inside of Erishim and often Thanos as one of the best 6 energy stat sticks you can be playing, which leaves us with Selene being the absolutely massive dud this week. She doesn't really have any competitive decks. She never has. I honestly can't believe they haven't adjusted this card or dropped her to Series 3 yet. Our first cache in January runs from the 7th through the 14th. It contains Victoria Hand as a new Series 5 card, Hawkeye Kate Bishop as a returning Series 5 card, and Grandmaster as a Series 4 card. I'm going to give this Spotlight Cache week a perfect 5 out of 5 star rating, in no small part due to the fact that Kate Bishop is finally rerunning for free-to-play players who haven't picked her up yet. I think Kate is one of the most interesting, flexible, and powerful 2 energy cards in the game, and she's a stellar addition to anyone's collection. She also has an effect that pairs quite well with Victoria Hand, again, similar to that Bruce Banner week, where we get 2 cards that work really well together if you're going all in on this week. And finally, Grandmaster, while only Series 4 now after the December downgrades, I think is a solid card that doesn't have clean replacements in a lot of the deck that are interesting in leveraging his effect. Running from January 14th through the 21st, we have Bullseye as a new Series 5 card, Nocturne as a returning Series 5 card, and Black Swan as a returning Series 5 card. I'm going to give another perfect 5 out of 5 star rating for this week. I think Nocturne is a criminally underplayed card after she lost a single point of power. In general, I think Marvel Snap players don't respect the idea of being able to mitigate location variance like Nocturne can provide. Black Swan is a unique and potent effect that is stellar inside of both Moon Girl and Bounce decks, and I regularly have people ask me, can they replace her? And the answer is always no. So if you're one of the persons that's asked me that question recently, make sure you're saving your keys for this week. And finally, Bullseye is a sweet novel effect that I personally am really looking forward to brewing around. Running from January 21st through the 28th, we have Moonstone as a new Series 5 card, Marvel Boy as a returning Series 5 card, and Kyera as a returning Series 5 card. The Spotlight Cache gets a middle-of-the-road 3 out of 5 stars from me. It has a deck contained inside of it with Marvel Boy and Kyera, both of which are Series 5 cards, so if you're someone that's wanted to play Zoo and is missing one or both of these cards from your collection, it seems like a solid week to open for that. Moonstone is a card that feels like she's hard to get a read on in terms of power level, likely good alongside things like Mystique and Patriot, but those cards haven't necessarily been at the top of the metagame anytime recently, so I'd be a little bit surprised if she ends up being a must-have card. Finally, running from January 28th through February 4th, we have Ares as a new Series 5 card, Misery as a returning Series 5 card, and Kang as a returning Series 5 card. This week's a little bit tough for me to rate because part of me wants to cope saying that assuredly Second Dinner isn't finally rerunning Kang the Conqueror without first reworking this otherwise unplayable card. Assuming he gets a novel and unique effect that's worth playing, I think this Spotlight Cache week would have a pretty strong 4 out of 5 stars, but as of right now, when I'm recording this, Kang is utterly worthless, which I think makes this cache a 3 or maybe even 2.5 stars at absolute best. I think Misery is a very unique effect that I have a ton of fun playing personally, but she's not contained in any particularly powerful or top decks. And Ares, while a very novel design, is just another way to get numbers for 4 energy, which we have plenty of replacements for in Marvel Snap's current card pool. Thanks for making it through to the end of the video. If you enjoyed my ratings and reviews for upcoming Spotlight Caches, please leave this video a like, maybe share it with other friends you have that still play in Marvel Snap and help them plan out their resources for the next couple of months. If you happen to be new here, consider subscribing to the channel. I post roundups and strategy guides like this for Marvel Snap a couple of times a week. I'd love to see you back again sometime. Happy snapping, chat, and may your new season ranked climb go smoother than ever.